Norm, how is he today, and how bad is that?
Well, he's doubtful for tomorrow, but there's a possibility he could go tomorrow if it loosens up a little bit. But he right now, I would say he's doubtful.
You put basically most of the minutes went to OG last. Was that would that have been your first choice, or was that in game? This was the best scenario.
Well, in game that was the best scenario, and the young man's been playing well defensively, offensively. He's making right reads, right cuts, good cuts. He had one cutout that got three ball for Kyle in the corner that night, but without him reading the situation and cutting out to create space, you know, it would have been a crowded situation over. So his awareness, his reading of situations has been really, really good. So he's growing. Is he making mistakes? Yes. He missed a couple of switches, but again, they're all hard, and that's what this year is about, is those young guys growing up and developing an NBA game, and that's what he's doing right before our eyes. So that was, you know, he was playing well last night, I thought.
You got a number of options to fill Norm's minutes if you want. And I keep coming back, is OG the number one option at this point?
We'll see. I don't know. You know, again, it depends on the game, the matchups. There's a lot of it. We'll see.
Dwane, you've developed, like you've played enough guys that Mike said you have options. And how much does that help when you get a guy like Norm back, that everybody's had to play a little bit and develop a little bit?
Well, again, guys have increased. Now, you know, Pascal's getting to the point where he can play some perimeter. Alfonso's into a place now where he come from the D-League, but he was playing well before he went down. So, you know, there's a number of options that can play that position, especially defensively. You know, so guys are growing right for us. DeLon Wright can go and move and play a 2, which is what we've been doing. Last night, Fred took that position. So there's a lot of different options with that. Again, it depends on what we need. And last night, we felt like having Freddie in with Kyle and DeMar as another ball handler and defender was a pretty good matchup for us.
What has the process been like working CJ into things?
It's a good process because he can shoot the ball. Yeah. He's a natural shooter. He wakes up shooting the basketball, and he's smart. You know, and again, he picks up stuff quickly. He's been around different systems. He has no issues as far as we're concerned. That teams have scouted. They're not leaving him, which also creates another advantage for us in the roles and spacing. So he's smart enough to do that too. So he gives us a tremendous amount on the offensive end.
Are you optimizing, or at this early stage in the season, are you optimizing what he can do for you, or is there still another level?
There's another level. We can run some more sets for him late. That's some things we can do. I can do a better job of setting up things for him late in the game, going away from Kyle and DeMar a little bit. And I thought we got to that a little bit too quickly. Kyle and DeMar pick and roll late in the game. If there's a question from last night, so there's some things he can do to help us. Coming off pin downs. Not necessarily ISO on him, but off pin downs and where we can get him shots.
Dwane, a lot of armchair quarterbacks after a loss.
Yeah.
How do you look at the early part of the season where a tight loss to San Antonio, tight loss to Golden State, you know, the loss to Boston, another close one, but again, Boston, Washington without their best players. I mean, how do you kind of sense where your team's at, how they've closed out games, good and bad?
Well, again, we're not doing a good job of closing out against some of the best teams in the league, as you mentioned, Eric, and that's what we got to get better at. And again, the sense of the rhythm of whether we're playing the move in the basketball game or making sure the right person gets the ball, that we kind of caught in the balance of that. And we got to be more decisive in what we're doing and be more organized in what we're doing, and not necessarily go to Kyle and DeMar, and if we do, make sure they get it on the weak side. And so we got to be more decisive in that. Some of it is we have different personnel in different positions. We got to get organized with that, where in the last few years we've had the same group running the same plays, running the same sets, knowing all the sets that you can call, and they understand what to do. So some of it is a newness, and that's what we as a coaching staff have to do a better job of teaching and making sure guys who are playing different positions, whether it's OG at the 3, OG at the 4, OG at the 2, guarding some 2s. So that's on us to make sure we organize and do a better job of closing out game. The positive is we're competing. The guys are laying it on the line and competing against the top teams in the league. You just mentioned the top 4 teams in the NBA. So that's we take from that. You never take solace from losing. But right now, we're still in a growing situation, developing, continue to develop our offensive and defensive mentality and identity. I mean, so, you know, again, we're never happy with losing.
Based on that, you get the sense then that same situation come February, March might be a different scenario.
We got to. That's the whole mantra right now is make sure we're getting better. And I see it in areas where we're getting better, and then we step back in another area. So one, rebounding last night kicked our behind more than anything else. I thought our half-court defense was solid, and then our transition defense was solid. But then the rebounding was. So we got to make sure we get consistent in those areas, the things we can control. Those are things we can control as much as anything else. Getting a body on someone and making sure we're doing that and getting the whole package together.
Like OG will probably have some time on James Harden tomorrow. When he's obviously one of the trickier guys at drawing fouls.
Are you guessing, or you know that for sure?
I'm guessing, a pure hypothesis on my part.
Watch the hypothesis part.
Do you have him watch like video, or is it up to the individual defender when?
So what we usually do is give guys videos or watch videos. Each coach has 2 or 3 players they watch video with before a game, after a game, and show him what guys do and don't do. And again, whoever guards him, whether it's OG or Kyle or whoever it is, has a job, and they got to show their hands and not let him reach through. The officials are not calling that as much, but we got to understand what Harden likes to do, and not only Harden, they've got a whole number of guys that have it going right now, and we got to understand what each guy is trying to do individually.
They're a different animal even from last year. I mean, they were tough last year, and then with their additions, you're going.
They're full of 3-point shooters, 3-point makers. You know, and it's not just shooting it; they're making it. And what's hidden with that is their defense. You know, and that's where they've improved defensively. They're getting numbers off their stops, and then getting in the open court, and that's what makes them even more lethal. Because now you don't know where James Harden is. You don't know where their other players are. So you got to make sure we take care of the basketball, and that was another one of our Achilles heel last night. It was, soft passes in the first quarter, and so we got to make sure we're taking care of the basketball and giving ourselves a chance in the half-court defense, which we were one of the top teams in the league once we get to the half court. But we got to get to that part.